We have some major updates and also a major performance by this Boston Red Sox organization. I'm here to break down quotes from Lou Merloni as well as others on really what's going on during spring training, as well as a 20-5 victory over the Miami Marlins yesterday. We'll break down all of that on this episode of Red Sox Digest. As you guys know, if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit 2,000 subscribers. We are so close, so thank you guys for all the love and support. But 86% of you guys currently watching this video are still not subscribed to the channel. Please scroll down and click the subscribe button. We do appreciate it, so thank you guys. But now let's get to it and break down not only the major update, but the major Boston Red Sox performance from yesterday. Now, we'll start with the performance because it's not as long of a rant, or not as long of a breakdown, I should say. We're breaking down really what happened yesterday between the Red Sox and the Miami Marlins. Simply, it was belt to ass. There's no way around it. 20-5 was the final score. We scored on 20 runs on 20 hits. We had a total of 47 total bases. So it was like a video game. It was like we were playing MLB The Show, and we were playing on rookie difficulty. We were absolutely flying on all, clicking on all cylinders. There were a few standouts. I will say Walker Buehler looked fantastic in 3 innings of work. He did give up 1 earned run, and only on 1 hit. On 3 hits, he gave up 1 run. It was earned, a 1 walk, and he did strike out 3, posting a 1.8 ERA through his first 2 starts in spring. Overall, a very, very, very good performance from Buehler. I'm very excited to see how he continues to play through the regular season for this Red Sox organization, and how he can really collect some very, very important innings, again, for this Red Sox team. Whitlock, Slayton, Guerrero, Ottavino, Moore, Cruz all got reps in the game. Obviously, for Moore and Ottavino, they are attempting to make this 40-man roster by the time spring ends, so they are trying to perform at their absolute best. I will say Ottavino did have 2 Ks and a walk. Obviously, really what we want to see, if the strikeout stuff is there for Ottavino, I will say there's probably a good chance he is added to this bullpen, to this roster, despite being as aged as he may be and an experienced veteran that he may be. He still has a wicked arm angle and a lot of breaking stuff that could be very beneficial to this Red Sox organization. Really, you can never have too much depth, whether it be in the starting rotation or in the bullpen. We're seeing teams like the Seattle Mariners yesterday, George Kirby getting shut down, starting the season on IL. Boom, there goes 1 reliable arm in the starting rotation. For the Yankees, Garrett Cole down with dealing with shoulder or elbow pain, back-to-back years now, where the Garrett Cole will now enter the season on the IL, dealing with an elbow pain, elbow inflation, if you will. So again, the more depth is so good. It doesn't matter what team, it doesn't matter if it's coming out of the rotation, if it's coming out of the bullpen, it is going to be required at some point in the year. So there's no reason, if you do find reliable, good arms, bring them in, acquire them. You don't have to put all the pressure on them in the beginning stages of the season. Spread it out. That's the point of having so many reliable arms that you can go to at any given time. And again, I really do like seeing us give chances to these guys and having them really showcase their talent and prove their worth, which it seems like they're doing at a very effective rate. So again, back to the box score. We played a handful of our starters, including Yoshida, Bregman, and Duran, who all played very well, but the starter that stole the limelight was Trevor Story. Went absolutely berserk in this game. The main really piece of the offense, if you see in the, where is Mr. Story's name? There he is. 3 for 4, 3 hits, 3 RBIs, 3 runs scored. Absolutely phenomenal stuff, including 2 home runs from Trevor Story. He was phenomenal, and he really wasn't the only guy that was carrying his weight, but again, Story with the best performance out of the day with 2 tanks and 3 of his hits, obviously going 3 for 4. And again, this is what we wanted to see. If Trevor Story can get back to those Colorado days, and he can really start flashing the glove defensively in the field, as well as bringing us that offensive production, this team is not only going to be in the top 10 offensively, like we've discussed so many times during this offseason, to duplicate what we saw last year, but now just be even better because of the added pieces and the returning pieces due to health. Now, if you continue to add Story, and this team is going to be so much fun to watch, both offensively and defensively. I physically cannot wait. It's going to be so much fun. And again, if Trevor Story, yes, I believe both of his home runs. I know for a fact that one of his home runs came off a left-handed pitcher. I believe they both did. I don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure. The first one might have came off Edward Cabrera, as he did struggle severely against this Red Sox team yesterday. But again, no surprise, Trevor Story is absolutely destroying baseballs being thrown by left-handed pitchers like we've seen for the majority of his career. For other news, Duran did play well. He had 2 RBIs on his 1 hit out of 3 attempts. Bregman, 2 for 2 all the way around, 2 hits on 2 attempts, 2 runs scored, and 2 RBIs. And the same thing goes for Jordan. Yoshida had an 0 for day, which is crazy. It seems like he's the only guy not to be successful at the plate yesterday. But it's okay. He had to cool off at some point as he started on a hot streak. Remember, the first pitch he saw in spring was a ground rule double that scored 2. And again, he did not end there as he continued to really hit the baseball well over the following few days. But again, this was the quick breakdown of yesterday's dominant win over the Marlins. And obviously, it's the Marlins. We should beat up on such a horrific franchise. I will blast this franchise until they go back to the Florida Marlins. The Miami Marlins will never get the job done. But again, I'm not going to rant. We'll go on to the other news that's the much bigger news surrounding the Red Sox organization by Sweet Lou. If you guys don't know, if you don't follow him on Twitter, I highly suggest it. He's a great piece of informative news, if you will, surrounding the Red Sox organization, and he has a lot of good insight. Obviously, a former baseball player, now a broadcaster for the Red Sox organization, and again, it's always great to get some more input and a different perspective on things than what you're possibly thinking about. And again, on hashtag walk the dog when he's walking around, and again, it's roughly 55 degrees, not as cold as he anticipated. Again, this is quotes from him, but again, he goes on to say that spring is getting weird, and again, that is a quote from Lou. He goes on to say that it's getting weird. He doesn't know how to feel about Devers, and Devers doesn't want to take live ABs in spring. He doesn't want to play in these games. He hasn't done it yet. He's dealing with a shoulder injury. He wants to do more live batting practice rather than getting into games and getting those live at bats. Just feeling weird about that in the sense that it's spring. You could go 0 for and no one's going to call for your job. No one's going to say that you're washed. It is literally spring training. You are here to get into a rhythm. You're here to find your footing. You're here to really get acclimated and get out of the offseason mode and into playing baseball again for another 8 months. And he does have questions about that. But again, not to worry. We do have an article written by the one and only Alex Spear, which is really about Liam Hendriks and how he's not letting the sickness discouraged him and the comeback from that. But he goes on to discuss Rafael Devers in this article, as well as many of other things. And he says Devers, who has been scheduled to make his spring training debut on Wednesday, has pushed back that date in order to focus on getting as many plate appearances as possible in live batting practice. Going on to quote, last year he got out of the whack path wise on his swing, and they've been grinding through it, manager Alex Cora told reporters in Dunedin. Going on to quote Cora again, like I told him today about playing in games. You let me know when, as long as he's there in Texas on opening day, we'll be okay. And that's the end of the quote from Alex Cora. So again, Devers can really do whatever he wants through this point of spring training as long as he is present when opening day begins. No one is going to question it. If you have a way you want to get ready and it's not involved in these spring training games, that is fine. You're still going to work out at third. You're still going to get your live ABs. You're going to be ready physically. Your condition is going to be ready, and you're going to be on the ball field. You're going to be on the diamond by the time we are in Texas for opening day. And honestly, I'm totally okay with this. Obviously, I would love to see Rafael Devers really be present in these spring training games and be a part of these wins when we're winning 20-5 and he can add some offensive contributions. But again, if he's not ready to get in the batter's box and have real swings against these guys in games that really don't matter, I know that's hard to say because they're playing baseball, they're in uniform, they're playing against other pros. It seems like it's going to matter, but again, when spring training ends and we get to game 1 of game 162 in the regular season, this spring training record is deleted, it is forgotten about, and again, it doesn't matter going into the regular season. So I understand that. And again, Alex Spear on a platform a lot like Twitter that I can't remember the name of, so I apologize. I believe it's Blue Sky or something. I apologize. Follow him on that. I can't read it. It's too small of a print. But you can see the username. The name of the platform is in the username. I had to create an account to then get this video. It's Rafael Devers taking BP. I had to try to download the video and play it for you guys. It wouldn't allow me. I apologize. But again, Devers looks good. He's taking massive hacks. And again, I can't wait to see him actually in a batter's box when it matters, a part of this Red Sox team that is going to be flat out terrifying. Now, back to Lou's video. We discussed the Devers situation and really what's going on. He doesn't want to get in the games. He's just taking live ABs. He's trying to get acclimated. It is what it is. Leave me your thoughts down below about your opinions on that. How do you feel about it? Would you want to see Devers in these spring training games getting those ABs rather than live BP? Again, just let me know down below. He continued to discuss other things and how things were getting weird in spring training. In the second base conversation, he brings up Christian Campbell, Vaughn Grissom, as well as David Hamilton. We saw Hamilton last year be the utility guy, and he played a lot of second base for us as well as other places because he is, again, a utility guy. He stole bags. He was able to get on base at a decent clip. And again, are we going to see that again this year? During spring, we have seen a lot of that already. It's between him and Grissom has been playing the dominance of second base. And again, if Grissom starts at second, it seems like about halfway through the game that Hamilton is coming in and relieving him, and I shouldn't say relieving, but he is becoming a pitch hitter for Grissom and again taking over the reins at second base. And again, they're kind of splitting the reps, seeing who's working out best there. The only problem is they're both playing so very well at second and at the plate this spring that I don't really know who they're going to give the job to. And obviously when the offseason began, we were talking about Christian Campbell, and I have it up here and I don't have it labeled for some reason, but I do have it labeled on my end. Now, these are the games, this is the box scores, if you will, the game logs for Christian Campbell. And again, in his first game against Tampa, he pitch hit, and that's why he only has one AB, and he pitched hit and ended up at second base. His second and third game, he did play at second base. Then the game against Philly, which would be his fourth game played, was at left field. The following game, he pitch hit and was placed at second base, and then he went left field, then he played second base, and he played left field again. And this is what Lou was mentioning. He goes, so are we giving the reins to Campbell? Are we going to see him come up and play second base for this Red Sox team? And if so, it's the same conversation about Bregman. If Bregman was going to be our second baseman, why would he not be getting every single rep possible at second base? Again, Campbell playing basically half and half. It's about 5 reps at second and about 4 reps at left field, while Grissom and Hamilton are dominating these second base reps. And again, you can't really say there's a problem with that because both of these guys have been flat out fantastic at second base, not only in the sense of defensively. Obviously, I'm not going to say they're Gold Glove winners at second, but they have showed great possibilities and great abilities at second base, as well as being dominant offensively. They've looked very, very good offensively. If you look in this game against the Marlins, obviously David Hamilton started at second base, and again, he went 1 for 3 with 1 run scored. He did K 1 time, and then obviously Grissom comes in. He goes 2 for 3 with 1 run scored and 2 RBIs. These guys are both playing phenomenal up to this point in the spring. It's going to be very interesting to see how Alex Cora decides to use these players and really how he decides to break down who plays second, who's in left. And again, if Campbell gets pulled up, and even if he doesn't, the ability to have both Grissom as well as Hamilton available and healthy to play not only second but used as utility guys, I think this Red Sox team is going to have great versatility. Like, that's something that we've mentioned over and over and over again. But again, great versatility as well as great opportunity for really everyone involved. And I can't wait to see how it plays out. I'll see you guys on the next episode of Red Sox Digest, and thank you guys for watching.